quick stream. A few things we're going to talk about. What just happened? President Trump won the nomination. All right, already been there. Chart Addicts members, I'm sure you guys are already on top of this one. But yeah, there was a lot of talk about low volume on holidays. And if there's anything we've seen this year, is that the holiday schedule is irrelevant and that the market is going to be active if there are macroeconomic factors, if like the whole world wanting to get invested in America following a Trump win. So beautiful rejection so far. I am waiting for one more retracement. See if we can get a pullback on the smaller time frames back to this entry zone right here, 21,160 right here. All right, so a clear double bottom would be perfect. Just kind of get a nice re-entry at that same exact price. Maybe making like an inverted head and shoulders here on the smaller time frames, if we can see it here. Nope. But I am expecting a massive rejection. I am expecting this thing to continue. So keeping my eyes here on this re-entry opportunity to make sure we don't miss that. Okay. We might not get the pullback that we're expecting, but that's what patience is for. All right. Now, President Trump did release an address, 3 minutes and 57 seconds, about what the next 4 years could look like. And I think that if you live in the United States or in a country that is beholden to United States interest, this video is for you. You're going to want to get informed on what the future looks like. All right. Looks like there's no retest. No retest as of yet. I did take a paper trade on this just for visuals, but I'll be looking to re-enter this trade here shortly if we get that retest. We could just continue to zip all the way through. Because if you look at the 4 hour, this 4 hour could become a wick. Got about two and a half hours left. So I would love one more push down into the zone. Matter of fact, add an alert right there. That way, if it comes back in, we can enter again. And that way, by the time it wicks up, we'll be in deep profits. Okay? One more wick. Alert is already set. Basically have our bases covered. All right. If you haven't already, make sure to register for the FX Summit 2024 conference. We're basically almost 9 days away. Now, if you can't make it to the conference, make sure to register for the trading challenge for the chance to win a $10,000 cash prize. Shout out to our sponsor, FX Replay, the #1 backtesting platform in the game. If you guys want to get a sneak peek of this trading challenge, maybe let's see if I can actually bring this up real quick. I think I got something for y'all. I think we can do something. I want to show you guys something really cool. I'll show you guys this for a split second here. I'm going to resume sharing. So this is like a slight idea of what to expect from the trading challenge. Now, obviously, it's not going to be seated like this. It's going to be seated around the circle. You'll get to compete with about 30, maybe 40 traders at a time. And so if you guys can't make it to the summit, make sure to register for the trading, for the trading challenge. It's free of charge. And you guys can use promo code ChartAddicts in case you missed some of the giveaways that we've been doing and you still want to attend. All right. Looks like the market is coming back and giving us a beautiful retest. I want to see a clear double bottom here. Or for members, all right. Yeah, I'm going down to the smaller time frames. This is happening. All right. Maybe that's a little bit too low. Okay, perfect. 5 minute low to high. You guys can see where that zone is. Same exact price that we were just looking at. So that'd be an ideal retest. It could also reject the 61 and keep going. Kind of a model 1 continuation type, but I would very much like to see a retest back into this zone. All right, let's see what Donald Trump said while we wait for this retest. Alerts are already set, and let's go into it.
Dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy. Here's my plan to dismantle the claim our democracy. First, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Here's my plan to dismantle the deep state and reclaim our democracy from Washington corruption once and for all. And corruption it is. First, I will immediately reissue my 2020 executive order restoring the president's authority to remove rogue bureaucrats, and I will wield that power very aggressively. Second, we will clean out all of the corrupt actors in our national security and intelligence apparatus, and there are plenty of them. The departments and agencies that have been weaponized will be completely overhauled so that faceless bureaucrats will never again be able to target and persecute conservatives, Christians, or the left's political enemies, which they're doing now at a level that nobody can believe even possible. Third, we will totally reform FISA courts, which are so corrupt that the judges seemingly do not care when they are lied to in warrant applications. So many judges have seen so many applications that they know were wrong, or at least they must have known. They do nothing about it. They're lied to. Fourth, to expose the hoaxes and abuses of power that have been tearing our country apart, we will establish a Truth and Reconciliation Commission to declassify and publish all documents on deep state spying, censorship, and corruption.
Sheesh.
And there are plenty of them.
Damn.
Fifth, we will launch a major crackdown on government leakers who collude with the fake news to deliberately weave false narratives and to subvert our government and our democracy. When possible, we will press criminal charges. Sixth, we will make every inspector general's office independent and physically separated from the departments they oversee so they do not become the protectors of the deep state. Seventh, I will ask Congress to establish an independent auditing system to continually monitor our intelligence agencies to ensure they are not spying on our citizens or running disinformation campaigns against the American.
All right, this might be time to start putting in entries. I do want to wait to see if we get a deeper correction, which is coming in right now. But there's a difference between kind of getting in halfway and then waiting for that full correction. So what I'm going to do is start to layer in those tester entries. And then as it sort of draws down, I'll be able to enter more positions in that drawdown so I can get the best entry possible. Oh, a little bit too late. Give this thing a second, wait for it to push back down one more time, see if we can get a good wick entry here. And let's see if we actually get this rejection or not. Now, there's always a chance that the market breaks through the zone first. So if you're looking at a daily zone, it'll break through first before pushing back up. But that's the risk that we take. That's why, like, the first entry I'll take will be, like, let's just say like a tester entry or something. And the second one will be a full position if I go into drawdown. The whole concept of that is keep money on the sidelines. So that way, if you go into drawdown, you can enter more instead of panicking.
Order filled.
All right, so first tester entry is going in, and I am going to watch this thing and have an alert here. Okay.
People, or that they are not spying on someone's campaign like they spied on my campaign. Eighth, we will continue the effort launched by the Trump administration to move parts of the sprawling federal bureaucracy to new locations outside the Washington swamp. Just as I moved the Bureau of Land Management to Colorado, as many as 100,000 government positions could be moved out, and I mean immediately, of Washington to places filled with patriots who love America, and they really do love America. Ninth, I will work to ban federal bureaucrats from taking jobs at the companies they deal with that they regulate. So they deal with these companies and they regulate these companies, and then they want to take jobs from these companies. Doesn't work that way. Such a public display cannot go on. It is taking place all the time, like with Big Pharma. Finally, I will push a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on members of Congress. This is how I will shatter the deep state and restore government that is controlled by the people and for the people. Thank you very much.
All right, I entered a second position when it dipped back through. Let's just summarize what Trump just said. Holy shit. Basically, he's going after the deep state and trying to
for a second Trump term
and trying to drain the swamp, which is basically what he ran on the first time. I hope everybody understands how Trump won the first time. It wasn't because of his personality and all these other things. That was a factor. It was because he said he was going to drain the swamp. because nobody trusted the government bureaucracy anymore after we'd been basically played and dragged into random wars and just fucked around with pharmaceutical industry and all these different conflicts of interest. And so now he's actually fulfilling that promise because he doesn't have to worry about re-election. Now he's about to go ham. All right, we're getting a pretty nice rejection so far. I'm going to wait for this thing to break the highs here, but I am going to de-risk
Order filled.
one of my positions because risk management is key. Where the hell is my trading panel right here? Supposed to be down here. Where the hell is my trading panel? Okay, anyways, beautiful rejection. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful rejection so far. Let's see if this thing continues and fills this wick to the upside. If it does, then we're going to be heading up for the break and then potential correction here for that retest. All right. Yeah, for some reason I can't pull out my trading panel for some reason. All good. Okay. What basic requirements do I need? A mentor I definitely will need. Basic requirements, Charmaine from California, welcome to the show. Interested in learning about this stuff, but still unsure. Look, I'll be honest, no, you definitely don't need a college degree. That's for damn sure. Um, trading is not about trading is a game of self-discipline, right? It's not a game of intelligence. It's not about how much you know. It's not about who's like some kind of technical genius. It's not about math. It's not about money, even. It's about psychology. It's about self-discipline, and it's about being able to have self-control and impulse control. Okay. So if you can have a clear system that you can follow, and then you are committed to personal development, you're committed to self-control, then you can be a successful trader. That's the most important requirement. All right. Okay. Now let's see what some folks have said about Donald Trump's announcement. We have none other than Swamp Creatures from New York, Letitia James. Okay. Now, everybody's thinking this, but Letitia James is the only person stupid enough to get out here and actually say this. Okay. I don't know what kind of dirt they have on her to get out here and say this, but basically she was saying that when Trump tries to go fire these rogue bureaucrats, they're going to do everything in their power to basically circumvent those orders. And they said they have a plan and a contingency plan and a backup plan. Listen to this.
With other Democratic AGs across this country to make sure that we would be ready to respond to any attempt to roll back our rights. So here we are. We've studied their platforms. We've identified certain possibilities, fact patterns. We've created contingency plans. So no matter what the next administration throws at us, we're ready. We're ready to respond to their attacks.
She sounds like she's reading a play. Yeah, she can wait. Listen, retest entry coming in very, very soon, coming in momentarily. I'm looking like here on the smaller time frames, you guys can see, waiting for some sort of double bottom. Okay, so either a double bottom all the way down here is possible. It could break through and then pop back up, or just a double bottom right here. Okay, and then pop back up. Either way, we're going to be ready for it. And Letitia James is the individual who was responsible for the court cases against Trump in New York. Basically, the whole witch hunt and the whole weaponization of the Justice Department, all this stuff. Every time they mention that, they're basically talking about Fani Willis. They're talking about this case in New York. They're talking about Atlanta. And so rogue DAs.
We're ready to respond to any attempts to cut or eliminate any funding to the great state of New York as the governor out.
Definitely just missed that reentry. Oof. All right. Well, let's just let this thing run. If we get the retest, so be it. If not, At least I have a few positions in, and we can just let this thing ride.
Blind. So despite what has happened on the national stage, we will continue to stand tall in the face of injustice, revenge, or retribution. We will continue to protect and our most vulnerable and marginalized amongst us. Because it is my sworn duty and responsibility to lead that fight, working.
Bro, this sounds like she copied somebody's speech. This sounds like when you copy a songs on a CD, but the CD's scratched up, and so it's like hella blurry and shit. It's like hella like, choppy, right? Like that's what she sounds like. Bro, what the fuck are you even saying?
With the governor of this great state, Kathy Hochul.
Kathy Hochul needs to resign too.
This is not the time to be fearful, New York, but faithful.
Yes, because you're actually going to get your streets cleaned up. The crime rate's about to go down for the first time in 4 years, and the people of your city are no longer going to be in fear of their life or their belongings just walking outside. Yeah, they probably shouldn't fear. They should probably be pretty relieved that there's some common sense coming back and being like, yeah, you can't just steal and commit acts of sexual violence and then get away with it. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Excuse my language this morning, people. This is real stuff.
And steadfast.
In other words, definitely just missed that reentry.
Knowing that I, as the Attorney General, along with my entire team, we are guardians of the law. And we are prepared, my friends, to fight back. Thank you.
All right, so that's Attorney General.
Fight back with what? The law is the law. What's crazy is that all of the things that are happening right now that Trump is trying to undo are all violations of the law. You can't let people in to this country illegally. That's against the law. You can't give out handouts and create a sanctuary city that doesn't apply to U.S. law. That's against the law. You can't decriminalize crimes and then basically turn your city into a fucking crime hub. That's against the law. And so they're like, oh, we're going to use the law to make sure that we're protected and to make sure this and that. It's like, well, we'll see about that. All right. I think that Letitia James's career, Letitia James's career is coming up to a very, very abrupt end. All right. Now, more excitingly, we were all watching the press conference with Jerome Powell the other week, and then Donald Trump asked him if he was planning on quitting his job. And you would not believe what Jerome Powell said. I'll break it to you. He said no. There we go.
Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell may have been hoping to talk about the economy and efforts to fight inflation at his press conference yesterday, just after the Fed cut interest rates by a quarter point. But the biggest news.
I just secured partial profits again because we're nearing that TP2 right now. And so I just want to make sure that I'm covering all my bases. So yeah, make sure that you guys are taking adequate partial profits. I cleared about 2% today, which is pretty good. Not bad. Fresh account up to, could be worse.
This came from this exchange on Powell's job security.
Some of the president-elect's advisors have suggested that you should resign. If he asked you to leave, would you go?
No.
Do you think that legally you're not required to leave?
No. Do you believe that the president has the power to fire or demote you, and has the Fed determined the legality of a president demoting at will any of the other governors with leadership positions? Not permitted under the law.
You're appointed by the president. Why the fuck wouldn't he be able to fire you? Like, if an appointed official who can't be fired is one of those laws in the government that is the reason why all this is messed up. No term limits on senators, and then the inability to fire rogue bureaucrats that are under the executive branch. People, the Federal Reserve is under the executive. So is this FBI, so is the CIA, so is the Department of Homeland Security, Department of Health, Department of Agriculture, all of the Board of Governors, which is basically like this conglomerate within that are appointed by the government that basically oversee all these different departments. Apparently, they're saying they can't get fired. by the person who appointed them in the first place.
Let's discuss this and more with NBC News senior business correspondent Christine Romans and professor of economic and public policy at the.
Yo, who took this trade, bro? We just hit both TPs. I'm jumping out.
Order filled.
Beautiful. That is all I needed. How many points was that? From 177 to 192? Well, that's 20 points. That's all it took. 217. That's 37 points. That's all it took was 37 points. Some might say I closed prematurely. I'll say I'm pretty happy with today's results. I'm doing all right. Okay. Who took this trade, y'all? Who took this trade? Who took this trade? Who took this trade? Really doesn't get much easier than this. Model 1, clear as day, body to wick. Got here right on time. Okay.
University of Michigan, Justin Wolfers. All right, Christine, first of all, happy Friday. We'll get to the Fed cut in just a minute, but first, just that back and forth on Jerome Powell's job security. How significant is that, especially with professor, to get your take or Powell's run?
Downs a quarter of a percentage point here. The effect of that was to push in
stronger than expected for a couple of years.
Yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Yeah, I'm really excited to see this. To be honest, you're not going to find somebody better than Jerome Powell. It's not like the economic circumstances are going to change a ton. And Powell really is doing whatever they can. Like, let's be real. We're in a pretty fucked situation. So I don't know if getting a new Fed chairman is supposed to do anything, as if the market cares. But I'd rather have somebody with experience. Holy moly. On today's episode of Damn, I should have held this trade. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to hop off. Got tons of meetings. Drop a like and subscribe in the chat. Make sure to register for the FX Replay Trading Challenge. You can register for this no matter where you are. Whether you're coming to the summit or not, free registration. You can play against and trade against the top traders in the world. Win a $10,000 cash prize. Show off your trading skills. Click the link in the description. Also, use promo code CHARTAddicts. 50% off all FX Summit tickets. Tell a friend. Put this in your group chats for all the trading communities that you're in. Send this to your favorite Forex influencer. Send this to your favorite day traders. And tell them if they're not at the FX Summit, be there or be square. All right, take it easy, all. Happy and safe trading today. Market is absolutely booming. Big surprise. Expect a bullish run from here on out. Oh, side note. One last thing. Bitcoin has hit all-time highs. Congratulations, everybody. 84,000. Our prediction was spot on. If you guys have been following us for a while, just know they don't make predictions like this. Okay? We got the Bitcoin halving. We got the double top retest. We got the retest back down into the 40s. And then now we just broke to all-time highs, headed to 100,000. Make sure to pull profits because what goes up must come back down. And a lot of wealthy people are taking a whole lot of profits at the top. Don't be exit liquidity for them. Understood? Happy and safe trading, y'all. Drop a like. I'll catch you guys later. Peace. Yo, members, make sure you guys are all registered for the trading challenge. All right? Crucial. Congratulations.